First off, gonna start this off how we usually always start this off. I'm gonna tell you good afternoon, good evening, good morning, no matter where you are. Thank you for tuning in. Wolfpack Performance Talk Podcast, home of the F1 Minute live talk Formula One show. At least on Formula One content. Formula has not a Formula One show. They're not smart enough to pick that up and run with it, but it is the hottest, and it allows you to have a voice to be heard on the platform. And today, we are talking about some very interesting topics, very interesting news to come out. The Kyalami circuit, in which a lot of people were anticipating, a lot of people were expecting to possibly see what's going on. Louis Beard, Mary Beanie, Malachi, what's going on, y'all? And also, always keep your ears open, Wolfpack members. We have a pop-out podcast going on. Time has changed. It will be tomorrow. You don't want to miss that. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Only available for Wolfpack Performance members only. But let's get into this, all right? Because I'm going to start this off politically correct. If you are breaking the law, breaking sanctions, doing things that are treasonous, committing acts of war crimes, hateful speech, hate things, doing anything of that type of order, then you should definitely suffer the consequences, right? I think that's fair to be said. But I got to say, I'm a little bit torn about where Formula One sit as to when it comes to involve to involve themselves politically. Let me just say that first, and let me finish that thought before I jump to the other thought. So many people, we always hear so many people say, I don't want politics in sport. I don't want politics in Formula One. I'm going to keep it compartmentalized to Formula One, because that's what we deal in as far as content here, although we venture out every now and then when it can kind of cross over. But we hear so many individuals come at least to this channel and say politics don't belong in Formula One. But it is very funny that it is often attached when something racial happens. When somebody calls Lewis Hamilton the N-word, or when they say something homophobic, or when there's anything like that, these people come up and they're lightweight saying that they don't want politics because they're in support of what is being done negatively. Well, I guess you have your answer now. Politics are indeed and have always been a part of sports, period, since the beginning. I say it all the time. Since the gladiators took the Colosseum, commentators, sports people alike, spectators, and in the front row, politicians were there enjoying themselves. So I got to talk to my country, the United States of America, red, white, and blue, all the way through. I got to talk to my country. See, because I find it very funny, right? People are so quick to look outside of their borders and cast judgment. So quick to look at another country and say what isn't right and what is right. So quick to look at another country, man or woman, and say what your country is doing is totally absurd. Well, I got to talk to my country, because if this is what it takes for them to say Kyalami is not a deal that can be made, South Africa is not a place where we can take our product and our brand so that it can stimulate the economy, businesses can grow, spectators who enjoy the sport of Formula One, watch on TV, their phones, listen by the VO radio, can have an opportunity to sit in the grandstands, sit in general admission, and enjoy the sound of a Formula One car in today's era, see drivers, see teams, have a possibility to enter the paddock. We cannot take that product there because of said accusations by a United States representative of South Africa accusing South Africa of aiding and supporting Russia by loading ammunition onto a freighter. Now, I say accused because that's what it is right now. Supposedly, and I'm talking about country. Big shout out, Mary Beanie. I can see Lewis buying the Kyalami track for real. And this is the problem, Mary Beanie. Even if Lewis Hamilton, think about it. Right now, there's no Lewis Hamilton involved financially that I know in the circuit. If he were financially attached to this circuit, could you imagine the fire? Could you imagine the uproar and the spitting storm that people would take to attach his name to that track financially? Could you imagine the stories that they would try to kick up? I'm not sure if Lewis Hamilton would, but he should. Maybe he should. But if he did and had already done, his name would be getting dragged through the dirt right now. My apologies. That is somebody trying to contact me about getting some more of these Japanese parts in for the build. That is what we know. That's not something I'm assuming. That's what I know just based off of previous history, okay? And you're a fool if you want to ignore history because it is a clear indication of what may come into the future or what may be in the present. So I'm going to say this. I sent our first South African brother a shirt because he is part of this family. He supports this channel. He supports what we do. He takes part in what we do. And I say that to say this, that you cannot cast judgment on parts because of what you are trying to say of a whole. You cannot do that. You cannot cast judgment on a whole group of people because of what few people may be doing. And why do I say this? Because if people were to look at America, if you were to look at America based off of many things that you've had in top level news, you would say that indeed America's officials and ground civil officers are killing off civilians. They're murdering black people. Is it true? Yeah, it's true. But is that all officers? No, it's not. So I just got to ask this question. How long is it that this is not going to be talked about? How long is it before the deal can be entertained again, Formula One? How long is it? Because it seems like you do have conditions on how long it can be or how long it may never be when somebody's name is attached to helping Russia. Or can I get into that? Can I get into that, right? We're talking about America. America has 3 Formula One Grand Prix right now. 3 of them. They got 3 of them. So if they got 3, does that mean we should cancel them? Because I'm pretty sure that America's history can be proven to be shown that we have received parts from Russia and China to construct or manufacture armor-piercing rounds. So that's not a problem? So it's not a problem for America to receive parts from Russia and or China to manufacture ammunition. Because America, we took part in that. We did that, right? We did that. That's a fact. That's not something, that's a fact. You can try to separate the percentages however you want. Oh, well, we only did like 75% from China, 25% from Russia. The point is, we as a country receive materials to make ammunition, armor-piercing round ammunition to be included from those countries. So should we have Formula One GPs in Texas, in Vegas, in Miami, and possibly coming in the Northwest, Northeast, Midwest? Should we be receiving that? The thing is, factually, this is political. They didn't say that they were killing the Kyalami deal because the track wasn't good or because, like Monaco, it may not reach the Formula One rating of 1. They said they're killing the deal because, indeed, it is accused, it is assumed, it is considered that South Africa loaded ammunition onto a Russian freighter. That's political. So if you're in my comment section or you're in my live chat talking about, I don't like to see things going political, I don't like politics in Formula One, open your damn eyes, crawl from underneath that rock, get out of your delusional mind, because that is all political. We're talking about House of Representatives. We're talking about ambassadors of the United States who represent South Africa. That's political. And based off of political accusation, Formula One has decided to kill the Kyalami deal. That's political. So don't tell me that politics are not in Formula One. Deal with it. Don't tell me that politics don't belong in Formula One. They're here. Don't tell me that we shouldn't talk about political issues. They are. You got to be some type of bozo to try to sell that to me. You trying to sell that to me is like selling ice to a polar bear. I'm already cold, bro. I'm already freeze with it. Oh, but we're not done. Hold up. You want to talk politics? Politics don't belong in Formula One? Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Politics don't belong in Formula One. Was it not just too long ago the American supposed Formula One team in Haas was accused of breaking sanctions by supporting and sending parts to Russia? What do you think they were sending? You think this is a machine shop? You think they were sending things to make automated brooms? You think they were sending things to make vacuum cleaners? Those parts likely were finding their way to be made of ammunition or some type of weaponizing for Russia. That was Haas Automations. They're in Formula One. They had Russian drivers. Their driver's dad was involved with Putin. They carried the Russian colors on their damn car. If that ain't political, what is? Mary Beanie. Super chat from Mary Beanie saying, isn't Haas still dealing with Russia to Musa? That's what I was just talking to. That's what I was just talking to, Mary Beanie. Thank you very much. So I got a question. If the deal can be killed just off of what I think happened, just off of accusations, why is Haas still in Formula One? Why is Gene Haas, why is Gunther Steiner, why is that team still on the grid and able to carry the American flag on their car? Why is that? They literally donned Russian colors on their car. That's flag colors. That's political. Who are you talking to? Who are you trying to sell the BS to? So I just got a question, Formula One. Why is Haas still allowed to participate in this sport, having Russian ties, having been accused of breaking sanctions, having been known to have business and selling and importing or exporting to Russia, having had Russian drivers that are affiliated with Putin? Why is Haas still able to have a Formula One deal based off accusations and factual documentation? Let me tell you some words that they used. Don't get me confused here. I am not supporting South Africa, indeed, if they have broken sanctions. I'm not supporting South Africa, indeed, if they have supplied ammunition and or weapons to Russia to do very violent things. What I am supporting is the equality and the fairness and the treatment of South Africa if the fairness and the treatment of Haas Automations can be tolerated. That's what I'm supporting. I am not supporting double standards. That's what I'm saying. I tell you what, let's just keep this ball rolling. Let's talk about something else. Has America not, I'm talking to America right now, right? Because a lot of people like to say, oh, Americans don't want to, listen, I'm American. I serve my country. I don the flag. I wore the uniform. I got every damn right to be self-critical, right? America has plenty of stains and dirt on its carpet, plenty of food that has been wasted and spoiled on its table. We are not innocent. We are not free from guilt. We are not free from crime. We are not free from many things that a lot of Americans like to look outside of this country borders and say they are screwed up. Have you looked inside of ours lately? Have you? That image right there. Anybody remember that? Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. So let me tell you something else. Hey, the guy PD says, peace, peace. They say if South Africa goes through, the Spa will be canceled. Spa is dope track. Don't want it to go. Hey, listen, I could care less if Spa's canceled one season. South Africa and Kyalami comes on. Kyalami is a dope track. I like Spa's one of my favorite tracks. They could both be on the calendar for all I care. Will I Am. The politician's palm wasn't greased. Adam Brown, FIA failed to make a deal with the greedy Kyalami owners. The Skechers couldn't get it done either. I tell you what, Will, get with me in Discord, bro. I got something I want to talk to you about, and let's make it happen. Get with me in the Discord, bro. I might not sleep. I might not sleep tonight. I might be on a hot one. So I got something to tell. U.S., you may need to clean up because by way of product, the United States of America are also arming Russian military. You want to know how? Because you're not cleaning your shit up. There are weapons out there being collected by Russians to try to be reverse engineered so that they can use them. You're not cleaning up your house. The weapons you supported and that you sent to Ukraine, they're laying out there. And guess what? By way and by product, maybe not directly, but indirectly, our arms, our military weaponry is finding their way in hands of Russian military troops. We got a part in that. We got some responsibility in that. So should we go ahead and postpone the rest of these Grand Prix for the rest of the time until we can get our shit together? Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay if we do it. It's okay. It's okay if, it's okay if America does it. It's not okay if you do it. No, listen, it's acceptable. When we do it, we can spill milk, mess up the table, break dishes, and we still gonna get everything that we want. But you know what you do in South Africa? Oh, no. We're not going to bring economic stimulus to your damn country. Oh, no. We're not going to bring the product of Formula One to your country. Oh, hell no. We're not doing it. What? What are we talking about? If you did for one, why are you not doing for the other? If you find it suitable to be right in here inside country lines and have an American Formula One team tied with Russia and you okay with it, why not? And Red Bull had dealings with RU and Advert Jobs. Well, there we go again. Nobody's innocent. Nobody's innocent. It cracks me up how a lot of times, now I'm telling you, there are plenty of things that I see around the world that I don't like, but when I see them here, I don't like them either. But it cracks me up how governmental heads, how people that sit at the high tables in governmental seats are seeming to cast judgment on countries. Yet you seem to not be able to look in your own backyard and see the plethora of shit that is going on. Is that a problem? Must be. Must be. America, what happened with JFK? America, what happened with JFK? America, what happened to MLK? America, what happened to Malcolm? What happened with slavery? No one talk? What happened to militarizing terroristic groups? What happened to that? You want to talk about that? Okay. All right. We don't talk about that. America don't want to talk about that. But we still got 3 Formula One GPs, none of them being canceled, right? Okay. All right. I get it. Okay. So let me ask you this. In Saudi, matter of fact, let's go ahead and put the image up. Let's put the image up so we can go ahead and let people clearly see. For those that may not know, in Saudi, not miles away from the track, Aramco, the oil facility, had a missile attack during free practice. Limited deal swept under the rug. Thank you very much. Like I said, Will, get with me. Had a missile strike during free practice. During a live Formula One casted event. Your drivers, your teams were in fear of their lives, and rightfully so. I don't know how many people have been around missile strikes, but I would guess if it's your first time being around one and it ain't nothing but miles and you're already in a country that you feel some way about, I could imagine is how you might feel, right? If it's my first time in the damn gas chamber, I didn't know what to expect. I can tell you what, I wasn't comfortable. When they start dropping those pills on there and peeled that mask back, people start throwing up around me. People start losing their mind. Snot start running out. I was like, damn, this is crazy. So it's not a comfortable situation. I can imagine you got a missile strike, right? You ain't never been next to something like that. A grenade going off, you ain't never been next to something like that. These drivers wanted to leave. The teams wanted to leave. This was a terroristic act that took place. What happened, though, people? Can anybody tell me what happened? Because I was live that morning reporting on that. You know what happened? They were so much as kind of threatened, you better not leave. You can try to leave without finishing this race and see how that goes for you. That's pretty much how it went. So in some capacity, drivers and teams were held hostage. Although given the guarantees, don't worry. We know what's going on. We know where it is. You're safe here. You're safe here. Did we not go back this season? Round 2, I believe. We went back to Saudi. Formula One took their whole product, their drivers, back to Saudi. Why? This just happened a year ago, so that's not good enough to say y'all don't deserve a Formula One. Did you not say no to Russia? Russia, boom, you done, right? Russian driver gone. You found a way. Haas was like, we're going to get rid of you, although you should have got rid of him, Mazepin, a while ago because he was not good as far as the rest of his contemporaries on Formula One. But then you use that, so he's gone. You're going to call yourself stripping the colors, cancel the Russian GP. Wait a minute. So why didn't we cancel Saudi? That was a terroristic attack not miles away from that track, endangering the lives of your drivers, your team, everybody else in the paddock, but you still went back there. Why? So I just got a question. How long is it before we go ahead and we see you all entertain the deal again? Because evidently by those standards, by the metrics that I saw and that I've seen, if you went back into Saudi after a terroristic missile attack, if Haas is still on the Formula One grid after being ties to Russia, shipping parts, exporting parts to Russia, being accused of breaking sanctions with Russia, still on the grid, I just want to know how long before the South African GP deal is entertained. Next year, maybe? Maybe should I expect next year? That seems fair. If you're doing everybody else like that, it seems fair that South Africa will talk again next year. Let this pass over. Let it, water kind of come over and we'll talk about it. I'm just going based off their actions, y'all. I'm not making any conclusions. I'm not saying I'm supporting anything. I'm just going off their actions. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going off action. Matter of fact, hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some more sauce in it. Who is that? That's Trump. That's Putin smiling in his ear like, Baraka, two nations have beef with each other. Not surprised. Facts. Prince Antonio, big shout out for your first time ever super chatting here. Big shout out. So wait a minute. 45, Agent Orange. Let's talk about that for a minute. America, should we not be docked a Grand Prix? The president at that point in time of the United States of America excited an insertion on nation capital, excited an insertion, an act of war, Confederate flags flying around the pavilion, Trump flags, which are lightweight representation of a Confederate flag. Don't let them fool you. A lot of people these days are waving the Trump flag in place of the Confederate flag because it is easily more digestible and they can hide a bit more. Some of the people don't care. They're going to fly the Confederate flag on the lawn, breaking into the premises, defaming Capitol governmental property. Politicians were hiding in offices, in rooms, in fear of their lives, while these people, excited by Trump, representing Trump, were storming the Capitol. People died. Wait a minute. Should we not have a Formula One race? Or is America supposed to have a Formula One race after that? Is that a display of something that Formula One should say, you know what? Yeah, America still 3 GPs. That's not that bad. Wolfpack, you speaking facts. Happy to be here. Big shout out to you, Prince. Big shout out to you. I'm just saying, people, ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the president who's acting like a baby. Nothing wrong with a president who literally buried his ex-wife on golf property so he could claim it as a cemetery for tax purposes. Nothing wrong with a president who has discriminated against tenants because they were black to have them casted out. Nothing wrong with a president who literally doesn't know what it means to earn his money but was given a loan by his daddy for some odd millions of dollars. Nothing wrong with a president who has been and made sexual comments about his own daughter. Nothing wrong with a president who involves himself with Putin and finds a way to make cash deals inside his hotels that America should frown on, but yet America has 3 Formula One GPs. We not losing one of those for that? I mean, the president supposed to be the top of the nation. He supposed to represent everything America supposed to stand for. I mean, we know better than that, but still, the ideology of him, that's what it's supposed to be. Agent Orange, is that a good representation of me? No. If you had to judge me based off him, you would think I wasn't shit. You would think I wasn't a damn thing, but we still got 3 Formula One GPs. So Formula One, my question is, how long before you re-entertain the South African Grand Prix deal? That's all I'm asking. Based off these metrics, it shouldn't be long. It shouldn't be long, right? Matter of fact, in Saudi, and I'm calling us out. I'm calling us out. And if you're mad about it, you're mad about it. But America, hold up, wait a minute. There's some double standards in it. We being really hypocritical right now. Blue Diva, Russia blew up the main dam in Ukraine today, risking so many lives, homes, and nuclear power plants overheating. Call this BS out, Jay. See? Right here. These are the things that are going on. But what I am saying, and we calling it all out, Blue Diva, America's hands are not clean. They not clean. They never have been. So what right do we have to come to the dinner table and put our hands all in the food and think that that is sanitary? What right do we have? These double standards that are being applied. Haas is okay. You ain't tripping about that. They still racing. Formula One got 3 GPs, might have 4. You ain't tripping. Las Vegas about to be a grand opening. You ain't stopping that. Big shout out. Rodriguez, first time super chat. We voted Trump out. Why doesn't Russia dump Putin? Big fat. You know what? Why don't they? They damn well should. They damn well should. We voted Trump out. Tell me how a man with this many damn black stains, with this many white stains on his sheet, can sit here and still talk about trying to run for presidency again. Laws he done broke. Still, see, listen, that right there is an indication of the mindset of the politicians and government in America, people. I'm talking about our country. This man right there, Trump, and other politicians like him, can do all types of criminal activity, can rob, steal, cheat their community, their people, the country, and still yet run for a political position in which controls the direction the country goes. America, you serious right now? So my question is, Liberty Media, how long before we entertain the South African GP again? How long is their punishment? Because it can't be indefinite. It can't be forever, because I haven't seen you do that when it comes to this side of the fence. So I'm just hoping that when you're going somewhere else, you went back to Saudi after a missile attack, a terroristic missile attack. You took them all back in there. After being threatened, you took them all back in there. Matter of fact, I'll give you something worse. I reported, and I'm going to tell you this. I reported, and I said, why are we doing this? I reported a young lady, young girl, fled for her life after being sexually abused, forced to marry her cousin, forced to marry in the family, fled for her life and her protection. Unfortunately, unable to sustain herself in said environment, returns hoping that at least it won't get too much worse. What happens? She is beheaded, and this scumbag walks around the town being applauded while he is on a parade with her head in his hand. And I said, Formula One, surely you will not go into that country. Seeing what you've done other places, you will not go into that country while this is going on. It has been going on. Yeah, they sure did go in there. Formula One went right in there and they went back. So my question, Formula One, how long before you entertain the South African Grand Prix? That's all I'm trying to ask. I'm not casting any judgment. I'm just speaking facts, not making up stories. You can go read that. I just want to know, based on what I've seen you do in the past, close to the present, How long before you entertain the South African GP? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Mary Beanie, please don't let Trump back. He doesn't care about. No, he don't care. Trump don't care about anything but his pocket and his shenanigans. All right, he doesn't. Not at all. Not one damn bit. So, as I was saying, I'm a little disappointed in the fact. Now, I'm gonna tell you words that I heard. They said, let me listen to the words. I'm confident that they loaded ammunition onto that rush. I'm confident that South Africa loaded ammunition onto that freighter. Confident means you don't really know or you're not sure. Matter of fact, check this out. I bet my life on it that they did it. If you got a bet on it, that means it's not already defined and the answer is not already known. So you don't really know. We saw a Russian freighter with the flag flying dock in Simonstown Naval Base for 2 days from the 6th to the 8th. They had to been loading ammunition on that freighter. If they had to, that means you don't know if they actually did. And if you do know, bring it out and say that. But my question is this. Super chat, Sylvia Witt Kelly. The money Trump, what is it? Women. Trust sites. Yeah. Do we want to get in? Yeah, I'll get into that. All right. So listen. Tell me how you think. I'll get into it because it's my country, right? I'll talk about it. Tell me how you think somebody is supposed to represent an entire country, yet often and consistently disrespects women. Is that person that holds that seat in your country is supposed to be a representative of what the country is going and should be in its mannerisms, in its economic stability, and all of that? Trump don't represent that. But we vote him in and we entertain him and they find a way to try to let him get back in and they drag their feet on trying to to prosecute. All this stuff is going on. So I'm just trying to ask, how long, Formula One, before you re-entertain the South African GP? That's all I want to know. Now, like I said at the beginning of this rant is not about supporting if somebody is aligning themselves with armed forces that are doing horrible things. I don't support that. This is not about supporting that if a country has the right, they should be able to arm other military forces to do crime, war, criminal acts upon other people. I don't support that. This rant is about me calling out the double standards that I've seen Formula One ploy. You had Haas, who was factually involved with Russia. You had Haas, who was accused of breaking sanctions within this country. You had Haas, who was flying Russian colors on that car. You had Haas, who had received money from somebody who had ties to Putin. Yet they are still on the Formula One grid, racing and having a good grand time. You had Saudi, who had a terroristic missile attack while you were there. You had Saudi, who lightweight held your drivers hostage by making a certain statement that it would not be easy for you to leave. You had Saudi, you had their country around there, women being beheaded and human rights just being all kinds of damn violated, yet you went right back. So I'm just asking, if it's all the same, does that mean South African Grand Prix deal should be in full swing by next season? Just saying. Mary Beanie, Michelle Obama president, U.S. needs film pres. The United States of America does need a very good, positive president. And I'm going to tell you right now, the same reason why Colin Powell did not want to be president will likely be the same reason Michelle Obama will not want to run for president. See, because it is rough and sometimes intolerable to sit into a cesspool full of snakes and reptiles. And often a hard battle, and probably one that if you continue to fight, you'll end up 6 feet under. And sometimes people, although all the good they do and the good heart that they have, that's a heavy stone away between family, life, love, friends, and tolerating it, and losing friends, losing family, and possibly your family losing you because you're trying to fight against the machine. We've seen many do it. Fred Hammond. They murdered him. Fred Hammond. Y'all murdered him in his bed. His wife pregnant. You murdered him point blank range because he was standing up for what should be right. You murdered him. Just saying. So, all I got to say, I know I talk Formula One. I know people, they're going to come in the comment section and say all types of negative things about me. I know this, but I'm just telling you this. There's no way that I'm going to see certain things and I'm not going to call them out. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they say, you know what, we can't trust that guy. We can't trust the J from Wolfpack. We can't let him step in here no more, because if he do, you know, he going to call us out sometimes. Yeah, I'll call you out. I'll call you out the right way, but I'm going to call you out. Commentators, when you online and you doing all that foolishness and I'm sitting there with a microphone, yeah, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to do it the right way, but I'm going to call you out. They don't want that. They don't want that. They want the ducks to be in a row, to fall in line. They want lemons that'll jump off that cliff. I'm sorry, I can't do that. You want real entertainment? You want real talk? You want somebody who's going to be real popping? That's going to be me. And I'm going to say what I want to say within the guidelines of the FCC or whoever else you got over there regulating airways to make sure people don't say anything too vile. I got you on that. But I'm going to be real with what I got to say. When you got somebody talking crap about certain drivers and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, for real. They don't want that. They don't want that. Just being real with y'all, that's not something they really want. So this is where I'm going to be until I can find another deal, till I can get my own network deal, my own show on a bigger platform. We're going to come here and we're going to talk real shit. We're going to have good time with Formula One. We're going to talk about races. We're going to talk about driver performance. We're going to talk about things to be. We're going to talk about tires. We're going to talk about tech talk. We're going to be here tomorrow talking tech talk about the W14B. DG, Big Blue, big shout out, first time super chatting. Wolfpack, I never supported DTAK P45. It goes all the back to the Central Park 5. Jay, keep doing you. Thank you, bro. Big shout out to Central Park 5. You know what I'm talking about. He know what I'm talking about. He or she, you know what I'm talking about. Big shout out to you. That's a fact. I mentioned something to that. Those tenants. Come on now. So, hey, big shout out to y'all joining in. I know this live might have been like, whoa, I didn't know it was going to be this. But yeah, it got to be that sometimes. It got to be this sometimes. Because there's a lot of undertones and a lot of things they saying to you all. You're not really paying attention to what they saying and how they running and how they conducting this business. But like I said, Formula, I just want to be clear. I'm not supporting breaking sanctions. Nope. I'm not supporting breaking laws. Nope. I'm not supporting war crimes. Nope. Not supporting none of that. I'm just asking you, how long, given what else we've seen, before you entertain the South African GP? That's all I'm asking you. That's the only answer I want. It's the only answer I want. All right? So big shout out to y'all. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to have a Wolfpack Effort Grudge race this Sunday, 11 a.m. I'm going to have live content all through the week. You know, I don't really take weeks off like that. You know, it's very far and few between. With everything I got going on, I'm going to make sure I stay fluent, current with y'all. Okay? So we will be here. And y'all never know. We might be back tonight. Might be back tonight with a special. I might come back on tonight with a guest. I might come back on tonight and chop it up. So y'all don't have to hear me kind of go on my, you know, my free rider rant. Y'all might hear somebody else that's a little bit more palatable to other ears that'll give you a little bit of information in a different way. I might come back on like that. You never know. You never know. All right? So I appreciate y'all. Let me see what y'all said on the poll. 55% said it sucks. I agree. 21% said it's suspect. I agree. Definitely agree. So big shout out to y'all. Keep it moving. Stay cool. Love you. Be up. Hitting like, notification. Click the bell. We'll be back sooner than you know. Peace. Oh, Malachi, where the grudge race Sunday after the Ian playing that game, F122 is terrible. The grudge race is going to be here on the channel. It's going to be here on the channel. All right. It'll be here on the channel.